Yeah, it's all by default. Everything's default. Yes?
So if we receive a notice of default, we A for B it?
That's your first step.
Okay.
And then we're going to go over the 90, 91, and 28 for how you finish up the
Enforce.
agreement. Right. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here because we're not quite done with what the agreement is. We're going to finish that up after lunch and then... Actually, this thing is... Oh, it is done now. Okay. So yeah, we can finish that up after lunch.
The A for B can be in the form of a money order with an A for
Yeah, can you
B.
go ahead and put do the next one on here?
It is a money order,
Leave this one there and we'll go on to lunch.
acceptance for value.
Yes, a money order is in order to pay money.
So you could do it as a money order.
When they send you a piece of paper and say pay us, that is an order to pay money. That is a money order.
Which you accept for value and return.
Which you accept for value and return. And if you want to go do the research and verify all this for yourselves, then what you do is you go to the irs.gov and you go to their little search window, you know, at the top of the screen, and you put in money order. Put those words in, money order, and hit search and have fun. It'll tell you all about what a money order is, what the requirements of a money order are.
So if you actually take a document you get, it has the elements on it, it's accepted for value, send it back as a money order.
Guess what the IRS calls that document?
Hey,
Voucher. But you go study money order in irs.gov and you'll discover that. The voucher is the payment. Now look up the term voucher. What is a voucher? Voucher is the payment.
And
They're giving you the money. And you're holding it. When you should be endorsing it and delivering it. And getting it out of your grubby little paws because it's poison. Because if you hold it, you take the liability. And everything that goes with it.
you accept.
You accept. Well, you accept it anyhow. You have to accept it. You have no choice.
But return.
Accept and return.
And if they ever say, hey, we don't accept this, so you give me back my voucher, they'll never do it.
Too late. Yeah, just send me my money back then. That's fine.
The dishonor creates the discharge.
Right. That's another way of doing it. Yes, that's another way of discharging is by dishonor. But that's a little bit harder to get crammed through. Dishonor is harder. You got to be a little bit more creative. Just keep in mind that it's never about what it appears to be about. Just like what they've done here, yes, sir?
Yeah, Jerry, I guess the franchise tax board is a little bit tougher to get those things through.
I disagree as well. It's just a matter of knowing and coming from the proper side of the ledger. Think about if you've dealt with them before, think about the types of terms you've used, what side of the ledger they're coming from. Are you talking about submit? Are you talking about apply? Are you talking about permit? Are you talking about registration? If you're talking about those terms, those all go on that side of the ledger. The only thing you should be talking about is, did you get my notice? Have you acted on my notice? No, we're not going to. So you're failing or refusing to act on my notice. Is that your testimony? No, I'm not testifying. Okay, so when can I expect my full reconveyance? Bullshit, we're not giving you no reconveyance. Excuse me, sir. What's your name?
By the way, the call's being recorded.
For your safety. No, for quality service, quality control and training purposes.
Yeah, that's one way to get them to hang up on you.
let them go with
Yeah.
it. Come on.
Yeah, there's a few ways of getting them to hang up with it. Hang up on you. Yeah.
Here's my third from the franchise tax board.
And what's going on with it?
I'm gonna accept it for value again. I'm gonna put on here payment number 2,
Yep. Third and final payment?
when I get to the third one.
Because
If I
another
have
thing
to.
that you have to understand and take into consideration when you're dealing with these people is that the ones who are in the know, the ones who know that we're right, they still have a paycheck that they got to protect. They still have an existence that they have to protect. They still have a life, you know, a family. So what they have to do is they have to make a determination before they throw it in the trash. Does this guy know what he's doing? Or did his brother-in-law tell him to do it? Or did he just read something on the internet telling him to do it?
Well,
So they'll test you.
Yeah, they'll test you. They'll always call you.
They'll call you, they'll come to your house, they'll mail you stuff, garbage.
Yeah.
One of my favorite tests, yes sir.
He's paying it twice.
Yes, you paid it twice. and
Well,
now
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be- to me, you're throwing away your first claim then.
Well,
You
no,
can stand on
what I
it.
wrote on the first one was accepted for value. On the second one, I wrote, any overpayments must be applied to any
Yes.
outstanding balances. Just to cover
Yeah,
that.
she's covering
Because
both
there was
sides
an
of the
amount
ledger.
on there. The first one was for one amount, for 1 year. The second one that came was like this one. And it had,
It's a new contract.
you know, 5 or 6
Yeah,
Treat it
years.
like it.
5
new
or 6
offer.
years on
So
it.
she
Right,
did.
so I added the verbiage on there to
Mhm.
cover any overages.
Thank you.
But for the
Yeah.
goyim, for the idiot that failed his GED test, it's open in the envelope. It says on there second payment. What does he think when he sees second payment? He says, "Oh, this has already been taken care of. I better pass this on upstairs." He doesn't pay attention to all that other garbage on there.
Does everybody in here know what?
He's just looking to do his job, get his paycheck, and get the hell home. His kid's got a soccer game today.
Well, I'm sending it to the CFO,
Well, there
Lisa
she's doing that
Garrison.
Oh,
too.
Stevie?
Well, Lisa Garrison.
Wait, Stevie Slanislas is
She's the head executive.
Oh yeah, she's the executive
Lisa
officer.
Garrison is the chief financial,
Officer?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Ask everybody if they know what the term goyim means.
FTB.
Oh, goyim.
Yeah, ask
Oh, I've been using that word. Tom points out here. I should ask. Does everybody know what the word goyim means? I've been using that word.
Yeah, human cattle.
Yeah. Does everybody understand
What
that?
is
No.
Goyim.
No, what's the answer?
Goyim is a Hebrew word. It means human cattle.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they call nothing.
That's what they refer to.
So my ex-husband's
Chattel.
father used to refer to as me. The goyim is here.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
I asked my Jewish friend.
It's like
about-
calling somebody a wetback. Same thing, or a dago. Same thing.
I asked my Jewish friend about that. He said it's anybody but that's not a Jew.
Right.
Human cattle.
Right. Well, I use it as
Talmudic
anybody
based,
that's not a
Talmudic
Zionist.
based, it's not
Yeah.
Torah based, it's
Right.
Talmudic based.
Right. Yeah. Talmudic. Right.
Talmudic,
Exactly.
because that's what they've done, is they create a state within a state, and they always want to create two sides, because they can control the outcome of both sides.
Right. Because they can
Healing
manipulate
dialectic, create the problem, display the problem, and offer up the cure.
Right, exactly. And so they will test. They will do silly stuff like sending her that back, or I got a letter back here a couple months ago after we did the notice for them for the release of lien in 1991-28. An attorney wrote back, and he writes an entire full page, single space, small type, and he does a beautiful job of going over the entire history of the transactions between this family and this bank. I mean, it's in detail. And then all the way at the bottom, the next to last sentence, in the last paragraph, it says, "But we're not the real party in interest anyhow." So see, that's another instance of that where you got to read through all their garbage to get to the good stuff all the way at the very end, or almost at the very end. You can't just skip to the end because it might be in the middle.
So tell him what you did.
Yeah. So what I did was I wrote a letter back to him, and I said, "Thank you for your release of lien." I said, "Thank you for your release of lien."
That was it?
Well, that was, as far as I was concerned, it was, but he
Not being
wasn't.
real party in
He decided that he wanted to have another say-so about it. He's trying to get the last word in, and I can't have that. So he wrote back to me, and he says, "I did not release any lien." So wrote a letter back to him and took his letter, and right there where it said, "We're not the real party in interest," we took a yellow highlighter and highlighted it. And then down where his signature is, I highlighted his signature. And then I wrote him a little note and said, "Is this not your signature on your company's letterhead? Did somebody forge your signature on your company's letterhead?" And I sent that question off to him. Did somebody forge your signature on your company's letterhead?
What do you say then?
I don't know. I'm still waiting. Yeah. Questions are where it's at, folks. Anyhow, where's Joe? Hey, Joe.